Okay, welcome to the Zenpreneur method. How many of you have ever thought about scaling your business or reaching a high level of performance with inner peace? Honestly. One person. My man. Nobody, right? I never asked myself that question either. I once believed that entrepreneurship is an either or. Either you work really, really hard, sacrifice your well-being, your health, and your relationships until you finally, hopefully, one day get to the place where you have all the money. Or you just settle for less, and you have good relationships and good health. But then I experienced an awakening. This guy on the left over here, that was me in New York City, where I co-founded my first e-commerce brand, All and Sundry, custom shoes. I was doubting myself, struggling with the imposter syndrome, panic attack, my relationship was about to fail. I was barely making enough in New York City. I was making $2,500 per month. Anybody has ever been to New York? Yes, exactly. So it was painful, it was stressful, it was pressure every single month. And I was very near to burning out. And I was obviously feeling behind on all my big dreams and goals. And then something happened. I discovered something very profound that I'd like to share with you today. That thing that I discovered helped me make a successful exit in 2019, coach well over 1,000 business owners all over the world, give a TED Talk with over 2 million organic views, turn my business into my calling, marry the woman of my dreams, and live a balanced and peaceful life. And I don't tell you any of this because I think I'm a special or great human being. In fact, anybody can do this and even better. But it will require a shift in your priorities. This is the Zenpreneur method. It is made up of 4 pillars. Mindset, which is about overcoming limiting beliefs. Anybody doesn't know what a limiting belief is? That's your limiting belief. A limiting belief is an invisible barrier. It's the story in your mind that tells you, I can't. This is too hard. It's not going to work for me. They're not going to like me. They're not going to like my product. I'm too old. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I'm too whatever. It's the story in your mind that gets in the way of allowing you to act in the way that you need to act to get the things in life that you want. The second pillar is self-mastery. Self-mastery is about time management and energy management. How many of you have ever made a plan, a to-do list, and you did not get it done? Honestly. All right? Happens all the time. Why is that? Because we keep thinking in terms of time. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But then what happens with your energy? And then what happens in your mind? I'm just not good enough. I'll never get it right. So self-mastery is about understanding your inner processes, your energy, and managing it so that it works for you. And then there are 2 other pillars. One is the genius zone, which means you identify what you do best, what you love most, and what has the highest return on investment for your business. But too many entrepreneurs are wearing all the hats. I can just get this done, so I can save a little bit of money. But nowadays, we live in a world where we can outsource pretty much everything for $5 to $10 an hour. Your time should be worth way more than that. But so often, we don't make those decisions. And then the last one is conscious leadership. Conscious leadership is the kind of leadership where you stand in front of your team and you don't constantly talk to them about, we need to hit the targets. We need to reduce the cost. Because how inspiring is that? Yay! Not at all, right? You need to lead with a vision, with a purpose, with a big why. That doesn't mean you have to heal the world and end all the wars, but you have to find something deeply inspiring, not just to you, but to the people in your team. So today, we're not going to talk about genius zone and conscious leadership because I only have about 30 minutes with you guys. We're going to talk about mindset and self-mastery. And in order to create something new in our lives, we need to ask ourselves new questions. Because if we keep asking ourselves the same thing, and expect a different outcome, what do we define that as? Exactly, insanity. Albert Einstein said that. So, what leads to a consistently growing business? What do you think? No wrong questions. Anybody? Just some answers. What leads to a, yes? Revenue, exactly. What else? What creates the revenue? A great team, customers. What else? Quality, yes. You're all right. But you're thinking too complex. But way too complex. Here's what it does. Consistent, strategic, and smart decisions and actions. Every single moment. You can have the best strategy in the world. You can have the best product in the world. You can have the greatest CEO in the world. How many of you have ever tried to lose weight and it still doesn't work out? I'm raising my hand as well. All right. A couple honest people. Thank you. All right. We all know what we need to do, but doing it consistently is really hard for all of us, right? So we need to ask ourselves, what is driving our decisions and actions? What is the force behind that? Any ideas? Vision, goal, yes, exactly, very right. What else? Habits, yes. Beliefs, yes, exactly. Let's make it simple. It's your state of being. The way you think and the way you feel drives your consistent behavior. Behavior are decisions and actions. Everybody following so far? Yes. But how many of us think about these things on our day-to-day lives? We think values, we think beliefs, we think big ideas, we think strategy, we think I need to buy the next Simon Sinek book or go to a Tony Robbins seminar, maybe not in Germany, but in America, is where I work with people. That's where they do that. But it's the force behind all of your results in your life. It's your state of being. So now let's ask the question from the very beginning, what the heck does peace have to do with your business? Why should you even care? I mean, do you think I look like a namaste guy that just feel better, it's fine. If you don't hit your goals, don't worry about it. Next month is also another month. You know, if you can't do the payroll, don't worry about that. Why? Why should you care about peace in your business? Any ideas? Strength? Yes. Who said that? Strength, yes. Why else? Confidence. Why else? Why should you care? More healthy, yes. James Allen said, the more tranquil a man or woman becomes, the greater his or her success, influence, and his power for good. Why? Peace is a state of being where you use your energy at the most efficient way. You're able to access your greatest potential. And this is not some woo-woo stuff. Think about this. How many times, anybody ever had an experience where you went to people, certain people, maybe family, maybe friends, you went in there, nobody did anything to you, but you left an hour later and you felt exhausted? Anybody have that experience? Yes. Why is that? Did you have to do 50 push-ups? Did you have to solve a Newtonian solution? No. You were just sitting at your in-laws or your grandparents or that one guy that you really can't stand. Why is that? Why is that so exhausting? This is a question you have to really ask yourself because it happens all the time. It's because you have inner conflict. Here's how it goes. God, I can't stand this woman. No, don't be like that. No, she's just your grandmother, you know? She doesn't mean it that way, but I just can't stand her. God, I wish she would just fall off somewhere. You can't think that. Why are you thinking that? It's back and forth all the time. And you're not aware of that. It just happens on autopilot. But this is how burnout is created. Burnout is not the result of working long hours. Not at all. Burnout is the result of not using your energy internally effectively. Because there are two parts of you pulling constantly, every moment. That's exhausting. You all know that. So, I want to ask you the question, what is required for you, not in general, not what you think is a good answer, but for you, what is required for you to have peace? Honest answers only. What is required for you to have peace? What needs to happen in your life? Silence, yes. That's a great start. What else? Be in contact with yourself. How many people, honestly, tell yourself, once I get the goal, then... How many? Once you hit the target at the end of the month, you'll feel good about yourself, or you say, I can finally relax. This is a typical dialogue that entrepreneurs, that high performers have. We think that peace is a result that comes from our achievement. And there's a beautiful Zen proverb that says, the Zen that you find at the top of the mountain is the Zen you bring with you. Whatever you think your goals, however small or big they are going to give you, you become dependent on them. Hence why, when you don't hit your targets, what happens inside of you? What happens inside of you? There's one word. Stress. Right? You get nervous. You go, oh God. And then how do you cope with stress? If you're a man, I gotta work harder. Just keep going, man. What do? You deny yourself rest. Some people that I work with, they go, I'm gonna sleep 2 hours less tomorrow. I'm gonna work until 2 a.m. tonight. I'm sure some of you here, you have pulled an all-nighter. Yeah, I see some smiling, say, yeah. Right? Or you go, yeah, I was planning to take a weekend trip, but nah, it's not gonna happen because I didn't hit my targets. And so that is a typical response to stress. The stress then does what? It takes over your decision making. What else does the stress do? When you're in a negotiation and you know your quality of your product is here and your price is over here, and then you get one weird look from the other person and goes, I could go with your competitor. And then what do? Oh, no, oh, it's fine, yeah, we can go here. You settle for less. Not just in business, but also in other parts of life. Anybody heard of the pleaser pattern? The pleaser pattern is, oh, we can't make it tomorrow. Oh, that's fine, I blocked out my entire calendar for you, and I spent 500 euros on wine, and I set up everything beautifully, but don't you worry about it, that's totally fine. Why do we do that? Because there's discomfort inside of us, and we are afraid of the other person not liking us. And this happens again and again and again. But what is it that makes us decide to say yes when really we mean no? It's the stress. It's the fear inside of us. So what? Peace is the remedy to that. So there are two states of being. One is being driven by peace. And that is where what you do, your behavior, comes from your state of being. That is when you are no longer defined by the environment or the marketplace. If the marketplace determines how you feel and think, then the marketplace will hold you hostage. How many entrepreneurs, legendary entrepreneurs and companies, have thrived through crises? Many. You've read many of the books of the people where you are, wow. How many companies thrived during COVID? Where other people went, no, we have to go into survival mode. We have to save. We have to go back. We have to play it small so nothing bad happens to us. That is when we go into the state of being that is driven by fear. That is when we allow the environment to determine who we are. But we can't afford that. because then we become dependent on something outside of us to change. So essentially, it's like, please, can you do something, please, so I can finally feel at peace within myself? And then you go, no. And I go, no. And I need a way to cope with that. So being peace-driven means you're working smart. You're using your energy, your time, the resources, your connections in a wise way, effectively. Again, I told you, I'm not a woo-woo guy. I'm not a namaste, just wish it all away. This is all about high performance. This is about making better decisions. But most of us, unfortunately, we live over here. So, quick story. So you don't just hear from me, you hear from actual real people that are not on stage today. Ankur Solanki, one of my clients, he's the founder of Pilot, a pharmaceutical startup in India. When he came, his mindset was all about rest needs to be earned. I need to work really hard for me to earn it. Another mindset was, I feel good about myself when I achieve my goals. And you can do a check-in with yourself to see if that's true. Can you just feel good for no reason other than feeling good? If you can, wonderful. Come on stage. And the other one, which is a typical mindset in a lot of male founders, is I shouldn't be afraid because it's a sign of weakness. I got 30 years of experience. I have 4 businesses that I started and sold. I have a team of 50 people. I should not doubt myself. I did my TED Talk on overcoming self-doubt. And the biggest block to overcoming self-doubt is believing you shouldn't have it. That's the number one block. It's not the trauma. It's not your spouse. It's not your bank account. It's not how you look. It's the idea that you think you shouldn't have it. And so this type of mindset made him constantly focus on busy work. It made him procrastinate. Why do people focus on busy work? Yes, they lack strategy. Yes, they lack vision. But there is primarily an uncomfortable emotion inside of you that you don't want to look at. Why? Because you have a belief that says, I shouldn't feel that. I mean, come on, I'm 40 years old. Get it right already. So you'd have an avoidance pattern. And that then affects your dopamine levels. So what do you need to do? You need short-term dopamine hits. You need the drinks, the sugar, the alcohol, whatever you need, right? Whatever our choice is. And that, as a result, made his confidence drop, his energy drop. He failed to raise capital and he burned out. But he had a change of heart, as you may guess. He went through the shift. He took responsibility. He went within. And so, after that, his mindset went to resting is a key to success. I choose to feel good about myself regardless of my achievements. And feeling my fear makes me human and provides opportunities for growth. His behavior changed. He focused on high return on investment activities. And now he completes hard work early in the day. Why? Because that's when your energy is high. So take this one as a cheat code. Whatever you want to most avoid, the thing that you usually procrastinate on, do it early in the morning because your energy is high, so you can deal with that. And as a result, Ankur sold his company. Now he's living a balanced and peaceful life. His confidence is peaking, his energy is high, and he's expecting his first child. So now, I want to give you actual real tools, something that you can take and turn into results. The first step to gaining control over your state of being is to be present with your thoughts and feelings, is not to let them tell you what to do, but is to actually sit and is to be present with them. So we're going to do a little experiment in just a moment here, because the goal is never to eliminate thoughts or feelings, which is what personal development has programmed you to believe. Doubt is the enemy. Ego is the enemy. Crush your fears. What does it do? It creates more fear. And so you need to constantly invest effort, high energy. And what does that do? It drains you, burns you out. The goal, and that is in self-mastery, is to embrace them. It's not to push it away, But it's to say, yes, there's doubt happening in my mind, but I'm not that doubt. That's just a story that's playing out. And if you can do that, guess what happens? You go from I am the doubt and the fear and the stress and the pressure to now there is something like that happening inside of me, but that's not who I am. And so what do you create? Space. And when you create space, you can create something that wasn't possible before. What is that? Any ideas? Yes, movement. Great answer. I love that. Exactly. Movement is required for innovation. But if you don't create space in your thinking, you will only regurgitate what you've always done. Because your mind, when you're in a stressed out state, will go into the past. That's the function of the mind. It's a survival mechanism. So it will sell it to you as new and innovative, great solution to finally getting your company sold, or finally getting that six-pack, or finally getting that partner, whatever you want. But you're only repeating what you've always done, expecting a new outcome. And we already know what that is, insanity. So now, what I want to do with you is I want to give you a very practical way of changing your state of being. It works whether you believe in it or not. And so I want to invite you to do this with me now, because you can do this wherever you are, whether you're in the Uber, whether you're on the train, whether you're in the sales meeting, if you're on stage, maybe not, but you can do this anywhere. And you need to invest just a couple minutes. Naturally, the longer you do this, the more efficient it will be for you. But even just a few moments will do a big difference for you. So step number one, what stops you from feeling peace? What do you tell yourself? What's in your mind? I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. I need to work longer hours. I don't have enough time. Whatever it is, take a moment now for yourself and just become present in your mind and listen. What is it that stops me from having peace? What is that? It helps if you close your eyes. It helps if you sit up straight like this, and you put both of your feet on the ground, and you put your hands on your lap, and you don't fiddle and you don't slouch. And you close your eyes, and you ask yourself, what is it that stops me from feeling peace? And once you have that in your mind, now from your mind, I want you to go into the body and look in the body. Where do I feel the effects of that conversation the most? Just take a moment, don't think too much about it too long, and take your index finger, and point to the part in your body where you feel it the most. Very good. Okay. Now, keep your eyes closed. You can put your hand down again. And all I want you to do is just observe this part of your body. Don't try to understand it. Don't try to give it any labels. Don't try to coach yourself. Don't try to analyze or be the therapist. Just look at it. And as you look, all I want you to do is just take deep breaths in and out the nose. Simply observe the sensation and breathe into it. Just notice whatever is coming up. If your mind wants to call you back, come back to the sensation and breathe into it. Simply keep observing while taking deep breaths. If this is challenging for you, that's perfectly fine. Just keep observing and keep breathing. As you keep observing, you may begin to feel lighter, and your mind may even begin to quiet. And as you keep observing and noticing and taking deep breaths, I want you now to shift your awareness to your skin. Just notice your skin from the very bottom of your feet, slowly moving up the legs, all the way up the torso, shoulders, and head, and just noticing the skin all around your body. And then from there, see if you can expand a couple centimeters above your skin to the space above your skin. And then from there, keep expanding, just allowing your awareness to move further, like you're growing in size, even further than that. Slowly expanding, until you fill up the entire room with space. And then, on the count of 3, we're going to take a collective breath in, and we're going to sigh it out. In 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in, and sigh it out. Ah. Wonderful. Give yourself a round of applause. You can do this anywhere you are. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't need to believe in anything. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to go to your therapist and talk to them what happened when you were 6. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this tool works no matter what. Use it. Make use of it, because it will empower you to make better decisions. And when you make better decisions, day after day after day after day, your life will improve. Your business will improve. The interactions among each other will improve. You're going to trust each other more. And when you trust each other more, your opportunities will increase. And that's how you become better leaders, more successful, and you can do it in a holistic fashion. This is the power of using peace. So, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but just a couple things. There are some blocks to peace, and that is the past and the future. Because peace happens now. Peace is a state of being. It's something you tap into. It's right here. You've just had an experience of it. And so the way you disconnect from the past is by forgiving. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you say what you did doesn't matter, you can do it again. No, forgiveness means you cut the cord. You say, I make peace with it. It doesn't mean you allow those people back into your life, or you allow the behavior back into your life that you forgive yourself for. But working on forgiveness is really, really powerful. It's a high-performance tool I use with entrepreneurs all the time. The same is for the future. Detached from the future, especially as high performers and entrepreneurs, we are very future attached. We want to live in the future. But there is no future. The future happens in the present moment. Everything that we decide and act on now shapes the future. So come into the present. One of the best ways you do that is when you design your goals, when you decide I want to hit these revenue targets, you break it into process-driven goals. A process-driven goal is something like, today I'm going to make 25 calls. You get to control that. You don't say, today I closed 25 deals. You don't have no control over that. But when you focus on what's in your control in this moment, you detach from the future. and your energy level will rise. Your decisions will improve. You're going to be more of a confident leader. That's how you create unimaginable success with inner peace. And then lastly, a couple tips for you, practical tips. In the business, fixed hours for responding to clients and team members. Let them know once you set the boundaries, you got to let everybody know. Don't assume that people just know your boundaries. Remove your notifications, turn them off. If you have tabs on your internet browser and it's tabs and tabs and tabs and tabs, I know you, I see you. Close them down. Only have open what you really absolutely need. That article, you don't need it. That Slack window, you don't need it. You only need the thing that really is relevant in the moment. Make a habit of doing that. It will improve your performance. Mini breaks for inner peace. When you go to the toilet and you want to pull out the phone, instead of doing that, notice the sensations. When you're going home in traffic, don't close your eyes, obviously, keep them open, right? But notice the sensations. When you're in a meeting and it's one of those meetings that you're attending but you really don't need to attend, but your boss told you to be there, that's not on me, notice the sensations. I was sitting there the whole time. I was paying attention to the great conversation here, and I was paying attention to the sensations. Why? Because I want to be here. You can do all of that. Plan the week, plan the day, review the week. Take your Sundays to plan ahead. Take the evening to plan ahead. 2 minutes, 3 minutes makes a big difference. Outside the business, have some sense of a morning and evening routine. You don't need to do a 3-hour biohacking routine. You don't need it. 10 minutes. But don't jump out of bed, zing, email, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you check. Before you do that, take a few moments, just a few breaths. Just check in. What's happening in the body here? There's, oh, my heart is going da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Okay, remember what that Mario guy told me? All right, just notice and just breathe. It makes a big difference. Regular time in nature without technology. Go for a swim, go into the woods, book a weekend away without technology. It will reset your nervous system. It will spark ideas. It's one of the best investments you can make and costs you so little. Vision talk with your partner, spouse, best friend, business partner. Talk vision. Don't just talk about the next crisis that we all have, the next pandemic that we have. We all know that stuff. It's all around us. We don't need another conversation. Talk about your grandest vision. Keep it alive. You got to fuel it with fire, because otherwise it will dwindle down with all these other conversations happening. Regular somatic sessions. Soma is the body, not just your mind. Don't just feed your mind. Take care of your body. Breath work, yoga, workouts, pushing your body. Men, push your body to the limit. We are animalistic beings also. We're not just intellectual beings. Get that body out there. Push yourself to the point where you're exhausted. That's great for you. Not every single day, but a little bit of that. Massages. And then last one, make time for intimacy. What is intimacy? Into me you see. So, schedule times with your teams and don't go, so how's everything? Yeah, good. And you? Yeah, good. Oh, great meeting today. See ya. What is that bullshit? No, how are you, man? How are you really? I'm a bit stressed out. Yeah, I get that. And don't go, yeah, I'm stressed out, but I got that. That's fine. You know, we're having good targets. We have great leads. You know, you see, we're on track. Don't do that. That's not intimacy. I know that's scary for a lot of us, and it's worth it because you become more human. And in this world that we live in today, it's so important to become more human, especially with AI and technology, and we think that takes care of all of our problems. But we've forgotten what it means to be human. All of the success that we're after as entrepreneurs is useless if we forget our humanity. So today, I'm going to challenge you here. There are so many amazing human beings here. Take one of them and have a real conversation, a real one. You know what that means. I don't need to explain it to you. All right. So, last thing. Scaling your business with peace is a conscious choice. You have to commit yourself to this way of being. When you do, a word of caution, it's not going to be la 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 la, peace, done. No, your mind is going to come in. This is stupid. This doesn't work. Why are you doing this? This is ridiculous. This is silly. Your mind is going to tell you that, but you got to commit. Just like when you commit yourself to a marriage, and you're a man, I don't know about women, I can only speak for men, and there's another attractive woman passing by, you don't go, oh, no, 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 I don't see that. No, I don't see that. Yes, you do see that. I know you. But you don't jump on it. Because why? Because you're committed. You're committed to your woman. You got to commit it to your life, to the life you want. If it's confidence you want, if it's power you want, you got to be committed to that, no matter what. That is the way that you create results like you never have before. All right, my friends, thank you so much for having me. I would love to connect with you. My LinkedIn, just type in my name, Mario Lanzrotti, my email. I just want to know what stuck with you today. Don't just take what I say as the truth. Challenge me. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm sharing insights. I'm sharing something that has worked for many people, for thousands of people that I got to work with, and also for myself. Let's connect and let's have a good time tonight. Thank you so much for having me here. It's been a real pleasure.